how I got AI to summarize this podcast, which is over 125 minutes long, using a free artificial intelligence AI tool on YouTube summaries.com. I found this podcast on strength and endurance training on the YouTube channel of RenaMalik. It was over 2 hours long, 2 hours and 5 minutes. And I used YouTubeSummaries.com to generate a summary, and I was very impressed. And so that's why I created this video. YouTubeSummaries.com. And I'll put this web link in the description box below. So RenaMalik is an MD, medical doctor, and she provided a podcast where she interviewed a strength and endurance training expert. So to summarize it, go to YouTubeSummaries.com, and we want to copy the YouTube address. We can do this in several ways. Underneath the video, go to share and then copy. And this will copy the URL address, which is also found at the top of the browser page. We can also go to underneath the thumbnail. We can also right click and click copy link. Copy link. Once we have the YouTube address, go to YouTubeSummaries.com, and in the center of the page, enter the YouTube address. Paste it in there. Click the magnifying glass to process it. Then it will give you several options. Underneath the thumbnail, click Summarize, and then you'll get a summary generated. What I was impressed was it was able to process the full 2 hour and 5 minute long video. And it generated a summary, as you can see here, with bullet points and headers. And this format is very impressive and easily readable. So it has the major headings, timestamps, and then it has bullet points underneath each one of these headings discussing what each of the headers discuss. Then you can copy it, and then you can paste it into a text document, and this has all the timestamps. You can also copy it without timestamps. You can just copy the main points. Let's see here. Okay, so what this does here is it has the timestamps, it has the main points being these headers: importance of exercise for longevity and sexual health, and the timestamps. Now this did several things for me. One of the things that I do with the YouTube summaries is I do what I call triage. There's a lot of YouTube videos, because of the thumbnail and the header being effective teasers, I'll be interested in the content of the video, but having done the summary, I'm actually not interested in watching the video. All right, so that saves me time by not even going into the video. Now, a lot of YouTube videos, including podcasts, are very wordy and dilute. So you might have a 1 hour long podcast and it might have 50 words of useful information. So there, I extract the main point and then move on, saving me time. Now, in this case, this podcast has a lot of information that this podcast is packed full of information, as I can tell from this outline. So this tells me, for me, that I'm going to listen to this podcast in its entirety. But I now have a roadmap. So I have a visual roadmap with the headers and the main points with timestamps, so I can listen and visually follow along. This is a very useful tool. Now, YouTubesummaries.com, I have another, I made another YouTube video where I discussed over 10 plus AI tools that do YouTube summaries. There's a lot of YouTube summaries tools available online. But this one is the easiest one to use with the best format. Now, it does have a free option, which I'm using here, and if you look at the top of the page, it gives you a certain allowance per day. Now, if you go over, then you have to upgrade to the Pro version. What I'm doing here is I'm trying different web pages, but I feel like these summaries are actually worth paying for. So if I find that I'm using YouTube summaries over my allowance, I may consider going with the Pro package, the Pro option. But what really impressed me was that it was able to actually go through the whole 2 hours and 5 minutes. It's a lot of AI tools cannot handle that volume. So two things here is, one, I'm impressed with this particular tool. YouTubesummaries.com, and I'm actually impressed with this. This is the first podcast that I looked at for RenaMalikMD. I'm impressed because her guest and her provided a massive amount of information, dense information in this podcast, which is actually extraordinary compared to many other YouTube videos that I've come across. This one, this impressed me. So. This is another example of something that was not possible even for the general public just a year ago. But now with these new artificial intelligence tools, this kind of thing is possible. So we live in an information age, and with artificial intelligence, we can gain control of this information overflow.